What are your deal breakers when buying a car? I mean, the stuff that you write down and say, it doesn't matter which segment I'm buying in, if it doesn't have this, I'm not getting it. Do you consider exterior looks? Or when you get inside, you just want to find a plush interior, or you just want yourself some leather seats, or cruise control, or the fact that the car is automatic, or for some, I know that they love the panoramic sunroof so much, maybe that's another thing that's a deal breaker for you. But how many of you consider the sound system as one of the deal breakers? Because that's what we're going to be discussing today. Otherwise, welcome to the channel. I'm Sibu and I appreciate that you're here with me today. Well, for some of us, a good sound system contributes a lot to that final decision of putting pen to paper and saying, I'm taking this car home. Today we have three cars, similar price point. You're sitting down with your partner or whoever you're discussing this with, and you're left with one decision. How good is the sound system? And as you know, when it comes to life, nothing is fair. And that goes with the number of speakers in these three cars. When it comes to the Nissan Qashqai Acenta Plus has a Bose sound system with 10 speakers, including a separate subwoofer. When it comes to the quantity of speakers, the Haval H6 comes second, and it has 8 speakers with no separate subwoofer, and it's not branded. I believe this is an in-house sound system. Just like the Haval, the Kia Soundsystem, it seems like it's in-house, it's not branded, but it only has 6 speakers. That is 2 tweeters, I think there's 2 full range and 2 bass as well. No separate subwoofer. So the video was shot on the same camera, same microphone, so I don't expect any differences there. When it comes to the settings as well, I don't like playing around with the settings when I'm doing the sound system test, as flat as it comes. But when I tested the Kia, I forgot to take it back to standard default. So the bass is up a bit, mid is matching the bass, and the treble is just above them. But I'm not expecting it to be that much different. It's just that it's going to be a little louder than it is when it's on standard. I can already imagine the comments saying, no, but you were not supposed to bring both sound system. Like I said, life is unfair like that. Look, we know it's a premium sound system and it's probably going to perform better, but look, it's here to gauge how far behind are the others, if they are behind, by the way. So let's jump in. I don't need to say you need to put in the headsets by now. This is the point where you do that. I'm not going to say anything when they're playing. We'll talk at the end. what did we just learn in this experience? What I've picked up is that just because a sound system is premium, it doesn't necessarily mean that the in-house sound systems are not good. And taking it from Haval and Kia in this case, I expected them to just be like, I expected them to be eaten by the Bose. But I don't think that was the case. Because when it comes to the Bose sound system, like I've experienced before with the same setup in the Mazda CX-5 top spec that I compared with the GLB last year. You can go check out that video in the library. When it comes to the Bose, the bass is there, it's rich, is enough. But all the time when I'm listening to that sound, the mids and the highs are not coming out well balanced together with the bass. I understand that you still need to play around with settings so that the bass can be a little bit lower than the others so that at least they can be able to be clearer. But I did that with the CX-5 as well. The way I experienced it when I compared it with the Burmester was louder when it comes to the mids and the highs. I liked it. I still like it because of the kind of music that I listen to. When I play house music, I do expect the bass to come in and I'm finding it to be more clear. But for people who would want to listen to music that has a lot of singing, they might find that it's not necessarily the best, especially when I'm listening to how Haval is playing right now. When Haval is playing, you can clearly hear the mids and these tweeters. I think it's because it has 4 tweeters here, like just sitting on the side of the doors, just almost next to your ears, that it's coming in clear on that front. The one thing I applaud about Haval is that even when you're taking the sound higher, it doesn't necessarily kill the clarity of the mids and the highs, because when you're doing that in the Kia, that's when you're going to start feeling that the bass is eating the clarity of the mids and the highs, because the bass start doing a little bit of scratchy, especially because with the Kia you need to push the volume quite high to actually get the clear sound that, you know, the one that cancels the noise outside and so on. You need to push it quite high. And when you get to that level and the sound starts kicking in, the bass comes in, you start getting that scratch a bit, the quality and the clarity fades away a bit. With that said, of course, we need to have a winner here based on this tree, right? I think because I know how powerful the Bose sound system is, it's easy for me to say it's a winner, because once you fiddle with the settings and get that sound properly balanced, you can get a lot out of it. And the one thing about it is that it doesn't panic. No matter how high you go, the clarity is maintained. And it's expected because this is a premium sound system. So with that, I understand that Bose is definitely a clear winner, but I need to remove it because it was here to gauge whether the other two are good or not. And from what I've heard, the other two are actually very good. Look, based on the track that we played right now and the clarity of the sound that came out, I'd give it to the H6 compared to the Sportage. And look, I don't blame the Sportage in many ways, because if you get the sound system right, the clarity of the sound is quite rich compared to the H6, because the H6 is just loud. But based on this experience, the H6 managed to balance everything quite well to a point that I think it's going to take it over the Sportage. Otherwise, what's left is for you to tell me in the comments which one do you think tickled your ears in a way that you'll say, no, wait, this is my preferable sound. You'll tell me in the comments. I appreciate that you've been here with me today. Till next time, I am out.